Hi everybody, Bill here, still here. Well, here's the update. I've just got back from the hospital. Now look, last time, my last vlog, I was making a few complaints, wasn't I? I wasn't very happy about the NHS and feeling like I was being neglected and what was happening with the old skin and wasn't happening as fast as I expected. So what happened was, after my moan, I thought, well, now I'm going to make a complaint, and I did. I sent in quite a strong email to the NHS to complain, because when I looked online at the timescales to deal with potential skin cancer, there was something I found called the faster diagnostic pathway. You can look this up, it's easy to find. It basically says that if they find what they think is a suspicious mole, a melanoma, then they have a month. It's a month from when they find it to when they deal with it. And I felt, well, hold on a minute, we're now 5 months down the line almost from when I was first diagnosed with a problem, so surely it should have been dealt with by now. And so I sent in quite a strong complaint, and what I said was, look, hopefully when these things are taken out of me and we get the biopsy, that hopefully they're all going to come back as benign, not a malignant melanoma as the one on my back was, and everything's going to be fine, and all I will have lost is, well, a bit of stress, a bit of worry about it, but there won't be anything else. But I said, if it comes back as something nasty, cancerous, if it's at a stage which potentially is worse than the 1A that I had before, which is just nothing, that's very superficial, then I'm going to look at medical negligence. Because look, if you don't fight for yourself, no one else is going to do it. So I did. Felt a bit bad about it, but I did. And anyway, there we go. I sent the email on the Friday to complain. On the Monday morning, I got a phone call from the appointments department, and they gave me an appointment for the 5th of August. I said, well, that's another 3 weeks from now. Yeah, she said, we haven't got you marked down as urgent. You're just a run-of-the-mill patient in the middle of all. I thought, how can that be? Because they identified what they thought was potentially cancerous moles, or what they call lesions. Well, apparently I'm in the system as non-urgent. Fair enough. That was it. So that was the appointment I got. And so what I did was, I thought, well, okay, I'll keep that appointment on the 5th of August, but I'll also look at private treatment. So I contacted the Royal Marsden Hospital, a very well-known hospital, deal with cancer. The Royal Marsden Hospital, and I wanted to find out how much and when I could go as a private patient to have all this dealt with. Totally booked up. The only time that they could deal with me, the first appointment they could get me was actually after the 5th of August, and that would have only been to see a consultant. So then I would have had to have another appointment to go and have the surgery, plus obviously I'll be paying for it. So I was actually better off taking the appointment today, the 5th of August, on the NHS, and that's where we are. So, oh, and by the way, look, here I am talking to you. I'm trying not to be too camp. Mitch, thank you for pointing out, one of my friends pointed out that in one of the last videos I come across as a bit camp. I don't know why I do it, but I don't talk normally when I'm speaking to you. I sort of go into a bit of actor mode and I'll occasionally go a little bit camp. I'm going to try and keep it more uncamp this time. Oh, this was the clip, if I can find it. This was the bit he sent me. Emails. I had a call about 3 weeks ago. Back to non-camp. So today I went in to have my appointment. Yeah, and I had a complaint handler lady who called me about my complaint prior to today. To be honest, I had to give her a piece of my mind. It was like talking to a robot. It really was. This was an administrator who'd been tasked with dealing with me. Oh my goodness. Hold on, I'm bleeding. Hold on. I think I'm going to have to go and deal with that. Sorry. Hold on, I'll be back. Hello, I'm back. sorry about that. That was a bit dramatic, wasn't it? What happened there? Well, I thought I'd burst my stitches, but actually, I haven't, luckily. But I've got a proper dressing on now. Well, I just went down when I saw it was bleeding on the screen. I had a look, and honestly, it was pouring down my arm by the time I got down to Helen. She grabbed a towel, and we wrapped a towel around it to sort of mop it up, and drove me down to the hospital. Really lucky, we got this little satellite hospital down in Beckenham, the Beckenham Beacon. So I went back in, I just went straight through. I walked straight down to the department. They went, oh, blimey, come through. So I went straight through, and Ailem, she, bless her, she took the dressing off, and actually the stitches were fine. I don't know why it's bleeding so much. It might just be that it's in a part of your arm that flexes, and well, with my massive biceps, of course, you know, it's flexing, and if I move, maybe that's what's causing it to bleed. Anyway, she's redressed it, put a better dressing on, so hopefully I won't have that issue again. Well, I'll come on to the surgery in a minute. I was just telling you about the complaints. I had this lady who phoned me back. She was an administrator, not a clinical person, the administrator lady, who phoned up to talk to me about the complaint I'd made. And frankly, it's like talking to a robot. That's what I was telling you. And just didn't get the empathy coming through at all. I was trying to explain to her, look, I've potentially got cancer here, and I don't feel like you're really being dismissive, telling me you're short-staffed and everything. And I said, look, I just want to get this sorted out. Maybe you don't understand that. It's actually quite concerning for me. And anyway, we got to the point where she said, look, what you're going to do on the 5th of August, you're going to come in for your appointment, going to get you to be seen by a doctor who's going to have a sort of a chat with you about it all, as well as Ailem, the clinical nurse specialist. So today was the day, and down I went to the hospital, got there at 9 o'clock this morning, went in, Ailem was there, she was great. I said, look, I'm really sorry, I didn't want to make a fuss, I didn't want to make a complaint, but she was great, and Carol was helping her out in the surgery room. She did it herself. She looked me over, and she checked me out, and she found, well, basically we've got a 6. There were 6. There's the 2 on my back, which I thought I was going in for. There was this one here on my arm, and I've got 3 on my leg. Now, the 3 on my leg were original ones that she was not particularly happy about, and I thought they were going to come out at some point. She said, do you want to do them all today? I said, yes, please, because I actually made that point in the complaint. I said, please, just do it in one go. And it's been 5 months since this first issue has popped up. The guideline is surely 1 month. And I did get an apology. They did say, look, I'm sorry it's taken so long, perhaps shouldn't have done. But anyway, you're here now, let's just get it done. So had 6 done today. 2 on the back were the proper sort of incisions. And this one and the 3 on my leg were punches. Ailem did it all herself. The punches was interesting because I was able to watch that happening, and it's like an apple corer. It's like, you know, punch one end of an apple corer, takes a circular piece of your flesh away, and they pop it out, stick it into a pot for biopsy, and then stitch it up. And Ailem said, you're not watching this, are you? I said, yeah, I am actually. I find it quite interesting, and it's fine. When you can't feel anything, it's like watching someone else's leg. So yeah, 3 of them. Now, the problem I've got now, of course, is I can't have a shower, I can't have a bath, can't do anything because of where the position of these things are. So I'm going to be a real pig pen for the next 2 days at least. Thursday morning I can take the dressings off and have a shower, and then it's back to the old Vaseline on the stitches, because all of them are stitched up. They're all stitched up. Vaseline helps to keep the stitches from drying out completely, I think, and stops infection, and then I have to redress it every day or 2. Can't do any exercise now for 2.5 to 3 weeks. I've got to be careful, can't do this, can't do that, and of course got to keep the dressings on, so that is a pain, but at least I'm going to get it, it's all done in one go. I got on fine with Ailem. I did apologise to her. I said, look, I didn't want to make a fuss, really. It's not really me, but I just felt like, as someone on here said, I am my own best advocate. No one else is going to fight for me. She was absolutely fine, and we're quite good with each other now again, as we should be. So next steps, well, I'll come on to that in a minute. Just one thing I want to say, just to clarify the situation, I thought when she originally found 6 on me that they thought that might be cancer. She said, no, that wasn't the case. The one on my back, the main one, I think they recognised that that was likely to be a melanoma. So that was obviously important to deal with. The others are all atypical lesions, as they call them, or moles, as we call them. Atypical being the pigment, because they can be different colours within the mole, or the atypical in that they're not like perfectly round, the edges are slightly irregular. That's the sort of thing that raises a flag. Now, all of these that I have were atypical. Atypical doesn't mean it's cancerous, and I got the distinct impression, because I said, look, can you just tell by looking at one of these things whether it's cancerous? And I think they have got a pretty good idea. So the reason they've taken these out today, these 6, the 6 I've had taken out today, is because they're, if you like, the most atypical, the most likely to become cancerous at some point in the future. So it's a precautionary thing. Now, we'll only know, of course, when the biopsies come back, and if the biopsies come back as all perfectly fine, what do they call it, benign rather than malignant, then happy days. Because the rest of these lesions that I have on me is just something to monitor, make sure they're not getting any worse. Now, I feel a lot more reassured now. I feel a lot happier. Yes, I know I've got to be careful out in the sunshine much more than other people, because when you get a malignant one, it means you're at a higher risk category, I think, for others. So I've got to be careful. I am still using the sun cream if I am out in the sun for any length of time, but I'm really avoiding the sun anyway. And yeah, I have to keep monitoring any changes in the skin. Because I'm on this pathway that started, nearly back in February, automatically, it's for 1 year, automatically after 6 months you get another skin check. So we're nearly at 6 months now. So in September I'm going to go back, and Alem's going to see me again, and she'll have another look all over me, make sure there's nothing else that she's worried about, nothing else that needs to be excised, as they call it, which I call cut out. And then I think at the end of the whole year there's another annual check, go along, make sure there's no changes. So that's where we are. So I'm a little bit, well, actually, no, I'm not sore yet, because I've had a couple of paracetamols, they told me, and all the local anaesthetic, because there was a lot of injections today at all the sites. That's still there and not hurting me at all, but I expect as that wears off later on, it's going to be a bit sore. But it's all been done, all good. So next step is the biopsy results, and I will let you know when the biopsy results come out. The other thing I'm going to apologise for is I've just noticed that the shirt, the new shirt that I grabbed to put on, is the same shirt I was wearing when I was being really camp. It makes it look as if I haven't got many shirts. Well, I've got loads of shirts, but I always wear the same ones all the time. You wear the comfortable ones, don't you? Right, that's it. So thanks for listening. And I'll keep you updated. Bye for now.